Alright, so I just randomly decided I wanted to make some fried chicken today because I'm hungry and why not? So I always, for gluten-free fried chicken, because gluten-free, it doesn't really stick well to the breading when you just do plain flour. You always need it to be wet. I don't have any buttermilk, so I'm going to start out with making some buttermilk. You always can do that with just a little bit of milk and vinegar. So I'd use just regular, I'm lactose intolerant, so I always keep lactate milk on hand. So I use lactate milk and rice wine vinegar. But first step, I always season the chicken, because you always got to season the chicken. So you can season the chicken however you want, but I season the chicken heavily with garlic powder, onion powder, because I'm on a low sodium diet. Before I was on this low sodium diet, I would use seasoning salt. Instead of seasoned salt, I use a couple of cracks of the Himalayan pink salt, just a little bit. A few other seasonings, white pepper, black pepper, cayenne instead of hot sauce, because hot sauce does have more sodium than I like. Paprika for color. A little bit of poultry seasoning just because I like the herbs. Because poultry seasoning always has like thyme, sage, and the like. And then ground mustard. Instead of using regular yellow mustard as a binder. And then you mix that all up. And then I'm going to let this sit and chill out in the fridge for a bit. Ooh, and a thing that I forgot. I'm going to crack an egg into this so that it thickens up and so that it really sticks a lot better to the flour. Also, I normally wear gloves. It's a texture thing for me. I hate the way this shit feels on my hands. But I was at the store and I forgot to add those to my list. So you're gonna let all of this stuff sit. Normally, I would let this sit overnight, but I'm going to eat this now. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna eat this now. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. I'm gonna make a salad, and I actually make the salad on camera in a minute. Let this sit, season the flour, and then I'll make the salad and eat that. So now for the flour. I use rice flour, like the King Arthur gluten-free measure for measure flour. I use about equal parts of this, and honestly, I just eyeball it and some cornstarch. So about a third of all of this. And then I season it the same way I seasoned the chicken, with almost the same part of everything. Garlic powder, onion powder, and honestly the reason why I use rice flour and the gluten-free measure for measure flour is because I like the way it sticks together, because when I was just using the rice flour wasn't sticking the way that I liked. The rice flour and the cornstarch, it wasn't binding the way, so I used the gluten-free, but the gluten-free measure for measure, that shit's expensive, and the rice flour is less expensive, so I just use both. So adding all of these seasonings and probably just one crack of salt, because I can't have too much salt because of my dietary issues. And then whisking all of this together. And for me, it's a visual thing to see if the flour, I feel like I'm about to sneeze, to see if the flour is seasoned enough, because the flour should not be white. The flour should have a tint to it to make sure it is seasoned enough. Also, it should be in your nose, and that's why I said I feel like I'm about to sneeze. So the flour is kind of tan, and so that is ready to go. And so, like I said, I'm going to let all of this shit sit, because you want the chicken to be cold, because when you're working with gluten-free flour, it's different than working with regular flour, and getting it to bind to the chicken. It's a lot more temperamental. So I need the chicken to be very cold when I'm coating it, and I coat it by hand. So that's sitting in the fridge. It's going to sit for a little while. So I'm going to make a little snack first. So those of us that have IH usually have issues with headaches and pressure headaches, migraines. I had a high pressure day yesterday, and someone commented on one of my videos a while back and said beets are good for this. So usually when you have a bad flare, there's nothing much that you can do to combat that. So, you know, you can kind of take some more of your medication, but after that, there's really ain't shit else that you can do. So what I'm doing right now, my mom's been trying to get me to eat beets forever. I told her about that video, so she's like, told you so. So right now I'm making a vinaigrette to make a beet salad. And so this vinaigrette was just honey, Dijon mustard, squeeze of lemon juice, some olive oil. So I dressed my greens first, then added some goat cheese, and then just sliced some beets up. I get the beets already vacuum sealed or whatever from Trader Joe's, and that's it. So I'm gonna eat this, and then once I'm done with this, take the chicken out, dredge it, heat my oil up, and then get ready to fry. So now that all of this has been dredged, I'm gonna run it back in the fridge, let it chill for a bit, because something about it being cold makes the batter stick better. So I was raised an hour outside of Chicago, and not being able to have mild sauce is one of the biggest things that upsets me about, one, being on a low sodium diet, and two, living in the South. So right now I am making my version of a play on mild sauce. It's not mild sauce exactly. It's something that's a little different. And so I'm making this to go on chicken, because I always serve this with chicken and my own lemon pepper. Because I do my own lemon pepper that I do, it's like the regular classic white lemon pepper that I sprinkle over the fried chicken. Okay, so the sauce is at the consistency that I like. And so this sauce will just simmer as my oil heats up, and then when my oil's at the temperature that I need it to be for the chicken, I'll take the sauce off, and then I'll put the chicken in. Now the chicken is at the temperature, or the oil's at the temperature that I want it to be in. So we're just going to put it in piece by piece, and you're not going to overcrowd, because if you overcrowd it, the breading will fall off. Kind of shake it a little bit to get the excess off. And I'll probably end up doing, looking like 3 batches. I can probably fit one more piece in here. Yeah, so I'm gonna just let it do its thing. Flip it when it's nice and golden brown. I don't know how long that is. Probably about 7, 8-ish minutes each side. Flip it, and then we'll be ready to go. 2 batches are done. Last batch is in the oil, and now I'm about to make a plate. Well, just a plate of one wing to show you how I make my chicken. Sauce, and then of course lemon pepper. You have to have the sauce and the lemon pepper.